Hi friends, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. I've gotten a few requests and questions about applying to my school, which is the University of Florida, so I figured I would sit down today and talk to you about my application process and some tips I have for applying to UF. Real quick before I start, I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel in case you want to see any more videos about my life here at the University of Florida. Actually not here, I'm actually not at UF right now. I'm in Tampa for an internship, so that's why I'm in a completely different room. If you want to see more about my process applying for internships and how I got where I am right now, definitely let me know in the comments below. I'd love to talk to you guys about that. Also, I want to do a whole video kind of answering questions that you guys might have about UF or just college life in general. So if you have any questions, make sure to comment them down below. I'm going to try to accumulate them all and film a video pretty soon for you guys. So let's just go ahead and start talking about the format of the application for UF. It's pretty similar to every other college application. It's going to ask you for your high school experiences, your clubs, your orgs, your GPA, your test scores, what you're looking for in a college, all that jazz. The first thing I've gotten questions about, and the thing that I think people focus on the most, happens to be test scores. Test scores are important because everybody tells you it's the first thing that admissions advisors are going to look at when looking over your application, deciding if you're fit for a university. And people have asked me, what test scores do I need to get into UF? And it's a very difficult question. I can't answer it specific, but I did pull up on my handy dandy laptop. I have a sticker of Daddy Fox right there, our UF president. Oh, I hate myself. Anyway, I pulled up the admissions requirements on UF's website, and I'm going to share those with you now. If you go to just UFL admissions, it's going to give you a lot of the information for freshman applicants, but I figured I would share it with you anyway. So here it gives me a little map of what they are looking for in your application, and it's titled, "Do you have what it takes to be a Gator?" It doesn't give you a set final score for your SAT or ACT. You know how you get an accumulated score at the end for every different subject? It's not on that, it's based on specific subjects. So here it's telling me, which it's gone up since I applied in 2014, but it's saying that SAT verbal needs to be a 500 and your SAT math needs to be a 500. And then if you're taking the ACT, which I recommend taking both, that's what I did, you need to have a 19 or higher in ACT reading and a 19 or higher in ACT math. Those are what UF says is the minimum requirements. However, I don't know how accurate that really is because I have talked to people who have so many different varying stories. I personally will say that my test scores were not the best. I do not think that my test scores were my selling point on my applications because I wasn't bad. I didn't have bad test scores, but they weren't great. They were just average. I don't care, I will tell you guys, I took the SAT twice and I took the ACT one time. I think that goes to show that sometimes it's not always your test scores that are the most important thing. Obviously they're important, but don't bank on your test scores being the selling factor of how you're going to get into college. Especially at UF, if you go on their website, they talk about how they are a holistic application process. So they don't just look at your SAT and ACT scores. They're going to look at your entire high school career. They're going to look at everything you've done in the past 4 years and look at you as a person instead of just you as a number. So my advice for test scores is to definitely prep. When you're going into your sophomore year, take the PSAT, take those prep classes, so when you get into your junior year and you're taking those tests, you're prepared, you're ready to go, and you're stocked up to sit through those 4-hour exams, which are not fun. The next thing that is really important is going to be your GPA, obviously. Now, this was better for me because I did have a very, very strong GPA. My unweighted GPA was, I think, a 3.6, 3.7. It was anywhere from 3.5 to 3.7, I could not tell you, and my weighted GPA was a 4.6. The difference between weighted and unweighted, if you're not sure, when you take advanced level courses like AP courses or dual enrollment courses, your weighted GPA is higher because you're taking higher level courses. So for me, I started my sophomore year with dual enrollment credits. I knew that I wanted to do dual enrollment, and I knew that I wanted to graduate high school with my AA degree. And if you don't know what dual enrollment is, it's where you take college level courses while you're in high school and you get credit for both high school and college. So I was taking classes at a local college in my city where I'm from. So since I took so many dual enrollment courses and I graduated high school with my AA degree, I had a very, very high weighted GPA. I actually started my sophomore year of high school doing dual enrollment classes, and then I went to my junior year where I was only in school half-time. So I went to high school 1st through 4th period, so I would be out by 11:30 and have a whole day. And then my senior year, I didn't even go to high school. I didn't have a senior year. I just went to the college full-time. Which was great. I loved that. If you have the option to do that, I would do it. I still got to do a ton of fun things with my senior class, but I didn't have to wake up at 6 a.m. and go to class every day, which was great. I was one of the few students who did that in my school. A lot of students chose to stay in the high school and do AP classes, and those will also give you those boosted credits towards your weighted GPA. What I'm gonna say is that if you feel like you are not going to succeed in those higher level classes, do not push yourself into those just because you think that's what colleges want to see you do. I definitely recommend trying out an AP course, and if you do well in it, take 2 more the next year and keep growing, but do not force yourself into these classes if you're not ready, because they are intense. Obviously, UF is going to want to see you challenging yourself. They want to see you, trying to advance in your academics, so I would say to test the waters, but overall I think that it would be so much better if you took honors classes and one AP class and got all A's and B's than if you tried to take all AP classes and got C's and D's. Hands down. And people will argue me on this and say that's not true and you should always take AP and advanced courses. But honestly, I don't think it's worth it because it's going to drop your GPA a ton, and your GPA is going to be a major selling point because it's going to reflect all 4 years of your high school career. The next thing that I think is really important when applying to UF specifically is going to be your extracurricular activities and your after-school programs and things that you're involved in. Ultimately, UF is looking for leaders. They are looking for students who are leaders in various aspects of their lives, not just in the classroom, but also in their outside activities, in their clubs, in their orgs, in their sports, etc. So my biggest tip to you is to get involved, and even if it's the silliest thing, get involved and try to be a strong force in whatever it is you get involved in, because it's going to ultimately help you in the long run when you can put it on your resume to apply to colleges. For me, I did a lot of stuff. I did dual enrollment and I graduated my AA, like I said, which I think was a huge selling point for how I got into UF, but stay tuned for updates. I'll talk about that in a second. I was in Key Club, which is a community service org at my high school. I was in journalism for a little bit. I was in Asian Student Society. I was in National Honor Society. I played 2 sports. I did the things, and that's going to be really important when you can put it on your resume, because they want to see that you're able to balance your life outside of the classroom while still maintaining good grades inside the classroom. So if you are a junior currently going into your senior year, or if you're younger in high school, definitely take this and use it to prep for the next few years, so that when it gets time to apply to colleges, especially if you're applying to UF, you have all those things to back you up to put on your application and your resume. Last but not least, I want to talk about the essay. Most colleges are going to have you write an admissions essay, and UF's was very interesting, at least for the year that I applied. I applied in 2014 for fall of 2015. And my question for the essay was short and sweet, and it said, what is the good life? Now, if you don't know, UF has this course that they make all of the incoming freshmen take called First Year Florida or Good Life, and basically it's just, I think it's considered a humanities class. I don't really know. I didn't have to take it because, again, I came in with 2 years under my belt, so I technically wasn't a freshman. But basically you learn about kind of like your philosophy on life, and you learn about different points of views and opinions. I don't know. Since that is such a key part of most UF students' freshman year. That was what the essay prompt was. So what I decided to write for my essay was really cheesy. Like, I didn't really spend much time thinking about it because I immediately just thought of like what I wanted to put down. I didn't use really my head. I used more of like an emotional appeal to my essay. Instead of saying that like my good life is going to be one where I succeed and I get a great job and I make a lot of money and I have a nice car and a nice house, I said more so that my good life is where I'm strong enough to continue on and reach my goals and strive for my goals no matter what happens. But while I'm doing that, being able to also boost other people and inspire other people to want to be strong and reach their goals too. It's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, honestly. Basically, in so many words, I was trying to say, what's the point of being at the top if you're at the top alone? So I was saying that my good life is one where I not only strive and succeed and I get to fulfill all of my dreams and my goals, but I can also help the people in my life and people I love and just people in general to be strong and reach their goals too. For me, that was just the first thing that came to my mind because it's the truth. Like, I don't know, I don't think that my best life is going to be me being hella successful and being alone. I think it's going to be me being my friends' biggest fans and watching them succeed and them doing that for me as well. My advice to you when it comes to writing the admissions essay is to definitely think about the prompt and even write down a rough draft and send it to any teachers you might have. I mean, that didn't work so well for me because I actually sent it to my AP Lang teacher to review, and I guess I didn't like look it over completely when she sent back the review. So a few nights ago when I was planning this video, I went deep into the archives of my email to try to find this email she sent me of my revisions for this essay. And I guess 2-3 years ago when I was applying, I missed that she had added a second page to the revisions where she basically said, oh God, what did she say word for word? She said, this is not an appropriate response to this prompt.
I am disgusted.
I was sitting in my bed 2 nights ago and I saw that and I was like, wow, like I cannot believe she said that. And I cannot believe I didn't see it, because if I had seen that 3 years ago when I was applying, I would have rewritten the whole essay and written down what I thought they wanted me to say instead of what I wanted to say, because that's the way she was making it sound, was that like, you know, what you're saying isn't appropriate, it's not what they want to hear. And I wanted to write down my personal opinions. I didn't care what they wanted to hear. I was going to tell them how I actually felt because, you know, I want them to know me and know if I'm a good fit for this university. Definitely reach out to, you know, your parents, your teachers, anybody to look over your work before you send it, not just to tell you that your prompt isn't acceptable, but to look over grammatical errors and things like that, because that's really important. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about are the different programs that UF has to offer when you are applying to become a student. So you can apply to UF for fall of whatever year you want to be admitted, or spring, or whatever you want to do. And on the application, this is a newer thing that's only been initiated the past few years. It's going to ask you different questions about if you would want to be considered for specific programs. Now, UF has been initiating different programs recently because they have so many students applying and they don't have enough room for all of them, so they want to admit more students. They just don't have enough room on campus. So there's a program called the Innovation Academy and there's a program called the PACE program. And these are very unique programs that basically admit students to UF with certain conditions. Innovation Academy, I think the way it works is that you check the box saying you would like to be considered for that program, and you get to take special classes for like an innovation minor. And I could not tell you what they are, I don't know. But basically, if you get accepted into that program, it means that you are admitted to take classes during the spring and summer, and fall is like your break, which I think is a very interesting concept. So I think what most people do is they use fall to get internships and jobs and stuff. Another program is the PACE program, and what that is where you take your first 2 years worth of courses at UF online. So you're not actually taking classes on campus, which I think is another interesting thing. I know people who also move to UF and just chill for 2 years and take their classes online, which is fine. You can totally do that because then you can still use all of the resources UF has to offer. My advice to you is when you are filling out this application and you see that, if you really want to come to UF and you are okay with having a non-traditional college experience, definitely check those boxes, because it's going to, in my mind, I think it's going to give you a better chance of being admitted, because I personally was admitted for the semester I applied for as a regular average traditional college student. I applied for fall of 2015. I was admitted for fall of 2015. I know people who applied for fall of 2015 and they got in for summer B of 2015, or they got into the Innovation Academy, or they got into the PACE program, and basically all of those different things are just ways of UF spreading out its students so that it's not so crowded and not everybody comes at once, because again, they don't have all this room for this many students. I couldn't tell you how they choose who gets put into what program. Personally, I did not check either. I don't think PACE was an option when I applied. I think it was a more recent thing. Or it might have been, I don't know, but I know for a fact I did not check that I wanted to be considered for Innovation Academy, and I did not check that I wanted to be accepted or considered for PACE, just because I didn't know what they were. If I had known what they were, I probably would have checked it if I knew it was going to benefit my chances of getting in, but I just applied as a regular student, and glory to God, somehow I got in. I think that's all I have for you guys. Overall, I would just say to be your genuine self. That's going to be the key factor. They want to see who you are as a person. Don't try to be what you think they want you to be, because it's not going to work out. I would just think about what you want to put on this application beforehand. Think about your essay. Be as genuine as possible. Do what you feel in your heart is right and represents you as a person. Also, really think about something that makes you stand out. For me, it was the fact that I was one of like 8 people in my graduating class to graduate with their AA degree, which means I had 2 years of college under my belt. So I actually came in as a junior by credits, which is just such a joke, but whatever. And I think that they saw how much work I put into achieving that goal, and that's something that they really admired about my application. So definitely think about something that makes you stand out, something that you're proud of, and amplify it on your application. So for anybody who is planning to apply to UF this upcoming fall, good luck. I hope to see you in the swamp. For all freshmen coming in for UF 2021, I'm excited to see you. Make sure to come to Gator Nights, because that's where I work. I hate myself so much, oh my god. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.